But we see these pictures in the Old Testament where
Right.
many scholars say this is a time when actually pre-incarnation, incarnation being the birth of Christ, that God the Son visited, and often the angel of the Lord. Okay, so this is why it's a remarkable thing. We see in Joshua 5, we see in other places. Okay, so come back to the story. And so he brings gifts.
Yes, Gideon asks this guy. He doesn't know yet quite what is going on and that this guy is the angel of the Lord. But he says, listen, I've got some gifts for you. Will you just hang on? And we know, the reader can tell, this is God himself that decides he will wait while Gideon goes and prepares, homemade meal in the most homemade meal sense you can ever make a meal. I mean, he's got to kill the animal. He's got to make the unleavened bread. He's got to go through the whole thing. This is no quick run down the street to KFC and bring back a meal. You're talking hours that God chooses to wait on a man to bring his gifts back. And so it teaches us lessons about giving our gifts to God, that God values our gifts, that every single one of us has something to bring, and God is going to use it in his kingdom purposes. But not only that, it teaches us the importance of preparing our gifts. This wasn't some fast food meal. Gideon had to be willing to go back home and to take the time behind closed doors to prepare that which what he was going to present to God. How often is it that those of us who want to bring our gifts into the house of God, we are so interested in strategizing and planning preparing our talents for work or for other avenues in our life, but we should also prepare our gifts to bring back to God. And not only did he prepare it, but at the right time, he had to present it. There are so many people who have prepared gifts, but they're too steeped in fear and insecurity to present them to God, to bring them out from behind closed doors at the appropriate time and utilize them to edify the body of Christ. And then when he gave them to the angel of the Lord, if I had spent all them hours making a meal, I would want this guy to be nourished by the meal, to lick his chops and say, that was the most amazing thing I have ever tasted. But that is not what happened. The angel of the Lord said, put it down and pour it out. That's not what I want to hear. When I make this big meal for my family, my 3 boys, they better eat every little morsel.
And be thankful.
They better be thankful.
Exactly.
That is exactly right.
Come on.
But this is not what the angel of the Lord did. He presented this homemade meal to the angel of the Lord, and the angel of the Lord said, are you going to trust me with it? So that I'm not going to use it the way you thought I would use it.